Azerbaijani Foreign Minister Jeyhun Bayramov said Azerbaijan had submitted a new 5-point proposal to Armenia on normalization of bilateral relations. Baku has already announced the conditions on which it agrees to make peace with Armenia, which includes mutual recognition of each other's sovereignty, mutual confirmation of the absence of territorial claims of states to each other, to refrain from threatening each other's security in interstate relations, delimitation and demarcation of borders, and opening of transport and communications. Bayramov, who was in Turkey to attend the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, the ADF, told Anadolu Agency, the AA, that Azerbaijan is waiting for Armenia's response. However, Azerbaijan's listed demands essentially imply a veiled rejection of Nagorno-Karabakh's independence. The Armenian Ministry of Foreign Affairs in turn issued a statement Monday noting that Armenia had responded to the proposals submitted by Azerbaijan. Yerevan has also applied to the OSCE Ministry of Co-Chairmanship to organize talks on a peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan on the basis of the UN Charter. The situation in Ukraine remained highly tense over the weekend. Air raid sirens were sounded in almost all regions of Ukraine on Saturday. The cities of Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Sumy and Mariupol remain surrounded by Russian forces, the Ukrainian forces said. The Ukrainian authorities added on Sunday that about 100 aerial bombs had been dropped on Mariupol. The city council of besieged Mariupol has said 2,187 residents have been killed. More than 5,500 people have been evacuated from frontline cities on Sunday via 9 humanitarian corridors, Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk said in a video statement. She added that 3,950 were evacuated from towns and cities in the Kiev region. Russian Defense Ministry spokesman Igor Konashenkov in turn said Russian troops have destroyed 3,687 Ukrainian military infrastructure facilities so far. Nearly 1,300 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says, giving the death toll for Ukraine's forces for the first time. Russia said that on March the 2nd, it had lost 498 soldiers. Zelensky, however, says it is close to 12,000. Ukraine and Russia are holding a fourth round of talks in Belarus. Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to the chief of staff of the Ukrainian president, added that Ukraine's position in talks with Russia regarding peace, ceasefire and immediate withdrawal of troops and security guarantees remains unchanged. The Russian and Ukrainian delegations have already met 3 times in Belarus. The parties discussed, among other things, the opening of humanitarian corridors. By the way, the Kremlin said it had never denied the possibility of a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, but would first like to understand what will be on its agenda and what outcome is expected. Zelensky in turn said that the main task of the Ukrainian delegation in the negotiations with Russia is to agree on a meeting between the presidents of Russia and Ukraine. The international community continues to support Ukraine. U.S. President Joe Biden authorized $200 million in additional military equipment for Ukraine. Washington has already authorized $350 million of military equipment, the largest such package in the U.S. history. Lately, however, there were reports that Israel helps Russia to avoid Western sanctions. 14 private jets that have taken off from Russia have landed at the Ben Gurion airport in the past 10 days, Channel 12 News reported Friday, as Israel continues to avoid joining Western sanctions against Russian oligarchs. The unknown identity of the passengers and the timing of the journeys has prompted speculation that those on board were Russian oligarchs who have been slapped with sanctions over the assault on Ukraine, the TV report said. Meanwhile, Israeli Foreign Minister Yair Lapid assured Monday during a visit to Bratislava that Israel will not be en route to bypass sanctions imposed on Russia. Even despite sanctions and the tense situation created worldwide, Russian natural gas company Gazprom, however, said on Monday it was continuing gas shipments via Ukraine with volumes at 109.5 million cubic meters per day, marginally down from 109.6 million a day earlier. In the meantime, CNN reported that Russia has asked China for military support, including UAVs, as well as economic assistance for its unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. According to conversations CNN had with 2 U.S. officials who said that requests came after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The official declined to detail the Chinese reaction, but indicated that the Chinese had responded. However, Russian President spokesman Dmitry Peskov noted that Russia has the independent potential to continue a special military operation in Ukraine and has not requested help from China. When asked by CNN about the reporting of Russia's request for military aid, Liu Pengyu, spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in the US, said in a statement, "I have never heard of that." Russia's investigative committee has opened a criminal case against Facebook parent company Meta Platforms, accusing the company's employees of illegal calls for murder and violence against Russian citizens, according to a statement the committee published Friday. The case follows a temporary change to Meta's hate speech policy that allows some Facebook and Instagram users to express violence against Russia. Reuters first reported a policy change Thursday. Roskomnadzor, Russia's information watchdog, said Friday it will restrict access to Instagram. Meanwhile, Meta Global Affairs President Nick Clegg said they are now narrowing the focus to make it explicitly clear in the guidance that it is never to be interpreted as condoning violence against Russians in general. We also do not permit calls to assassinate a head of state, Clegg added. In turn, Russian presidential spokesperson Dmitry Peskov noted that despite Meta's new statement, it is unlikely that the platform will work in the future in Russia. The Nagorno-Karabakh Artsakh people are deprived of natural gas for the 7th day now. Since a natural gas pipeline in the territory currently controlled by Azerbaijan was damaged on March 8th, talks are being held with the Azerbaijanis, but the latter are hindering the repair work. Despite numerous calls for an immediate solution to this problem and the assurances of the Artsakh authorities that this issue is being resolved jointly with the Russian peacekeepers, Artsakh people have no natural gas supplies yet. The matter of restoring the natural gas supply in Artsakh is under negotiation, Lutsuna Avanesyan, spokesman for the Artsakh president, told NEWS.am. Avanesyan informed that the Artsakh residents currently provide heating for themselves with the use of electricity and wood, the latter mainly referring to the villages. Meanwhile, Koiva Clark, the European Union Special Representative for the South Caucasus and the crisis in Georgia, who is currently in Armenia's capital Yerevan, told the RFE-RL Armenian service that he has been discussing with both Armenia and Azerbaijan the matters of the recent ceasefire violations and of the natural gas pipeline. Clark noted that in recent days he has had several conversations with representatives of both Yerevan and Baku on these issues. Vagan Khachaturian pledged to do his best to strengthen national unity as he was sworn in as Armenia's new president on Sunday. His inauguration took place at a special session of the Armenian parliament, which was boycotted by its two opposition factions. In his inaugural speech, Khachaturian acknowledged that he was assuming office at a pivotal time for Armenia amid complicated regional and international challenges. We are witnessing rapidly changing geopolitical developments as a result of which current global security systems are being transformed. Today, more than ever, we need wisdom, confidence, stability, and unity, he said. Khachaturian was elected by parliament on March 3rd for 7 years as the 5th president in the country's history. The 62-year-old politician, who previously served as the Minister of High Technology, was nominated by the ruling Civil Contract Party. Former President Armen Sarkisyan resigned on January 23rd, citing lack of constitution. Sarkisyan said he did not have the necessary power to deal with the country's political issues.